while since the last time you were here.
Well, you're back.
Argos has clearly washed its hands of this operation.
Oh no, don't start. I've had enough Barett for one lifetime. I don't need the sequel showing up on my doorstep. More pirates showed up when you were gone. We weren't as lucky this time. Calvert, Troy, some of the new Dusties. They didn't make it.
Alter, das wusste ich nicht mitnehmen. Das nehmen wir. Ja, noch so.
Who knows with pirates? Revenge, peeking at the scraps. Maybe they're from a different crew and we just got hit twice by sheer bad luck.
No.
Well, how could you have? You weren't here.
Ja, das stimmt.
I was pinned down behind some crates with Barett. Bullets and laser fire everywhere. No smile on that damn carefree face of his. Like he knew this was it. I started steeling myself to go out fighting. Then that idiot puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Stay here, Lynn. I got you."
Also, das war nicht gut. Ich weiß aber genau.
Not for them anyway. Barett is more dangerous than you might think.
Oh, sie hat mal eine Weltraumausrüstung an gerade.
And he's got the third one in a headlock. Drags him out into the open at gunpoint and demands to talk, or else I'm going to demonstrate Newton's third law on this guy's temporal lobe. And that's when they brought out Hella.
Was dann passiert?
I didn't overhear everything, but after the 10 longest seconds of my life, Barett put his hands up, and both of them ended up getting taken aboard the pirate ship. And that's the last I saw of either of them.
Verschwiegen.
Too risky to put that in the message. Too much liability. You know how it is. Our clients need to know when the operations start and stop. We handle the rest.
Das wäre
They could have grav jumped anywhere. I tried pinging a transmission to the ship in the comms building before they left, but the pirates must have fried it. You want to try it? Go ahead. But the odds of them being alive, even if you could find them... I've lost a lot of people on this run, Dusty. I just want to pack up.
Mhm. Ja, dann müssen wir nur reparieren. Ihr willst mich echt verarschen? Ich krieg die Tür auf einmal auf, oder was? Ja, ich fühle mich hier verarscht. So, Moment sind. Ja. Und die Tür jetzt. Ja, hier Tür auf. Dann doch vielleicht. Achso. Hier ist die Tür, aber die ist verriegelt. Zack.
Nicely done.
Ja, jetzt aktivieren. Der Punkt anscheinend Strom, Energiequelle. Wenn ich mal der Ersatzbauer ist, ja, aber ich nicht richtig gegangen. Ich hab schon gesehen, aber das ist ja nichts. öffnen. Hallo,
Wanna try fixing that computer?
Installer.
Don't see what good it will do since they're already gone, but fine. Here. You need any more? Feel free to scavenge around.
Ja,
I'm fine, Dusty. In this line of work, you make do,
mhm.
even when the worst happens.
So, ne?
Only managed to scrounge up one so far. I'm sure there's more around.
Gut. Okay, mal weiter gucken. Nicht super. Okay. Zack, haben wir schon mal zwei. Oder ich glaube die dritte, ne? Oder irgendwie zwei. Habe ich nicht jetzt schon 3 Stück? Ich meine, ich gehe jetzt mal gucken, auf die Gefahr, dass ich vielleicht doof bin, aber ich meine, ich habe noch 2 Stück. Weiter. Ja, doch, das stimmt. Passt doch. Geht doch. Nur die Gefahr.
believe we got into this mess. Would you be quiet? Trying to make out the grav jump calculations before we're out of range. Out of range of what? Out of range of the sensor array on Vectera. Would you keep up? Once we're outside the star system, the bandwidth goes from instant speed to effectively never. What good is sending a transmission down there? You gonna tell Lynn how royally screwed we both are? She doesn't even have a ship. You underestimate how many of my admirers there are in the galaxy, Helen. One of them is bound to show up, looking to reunite with this handsome face.
Mhm.
We're doomed. Capital B, doomed. Got it, okay. Whoever finds this, I'm attaching the interstellar coordinates to the metadata on the transmission. Rescue us. Repeat. Rescue us.
Mhm. Wir können Zeichenschiffe aufrücken, Alarm auf Schiff geraten, Alarm auf Schiff geraten, von Zeichenschiffe aufrücken.
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find some more?
Ja, ich weiß Bescheid. Was wir gelernt haben, ich glaube, sonst nicht nur mehr rauslaufen. Achso, doch, ich muss zu denen erstmal aufhören. Okay. Ja. Wir müssen nicht mal in das Schiff steigen, aber ich soll jetzt mal mit denen reden und dir sagen. Was Phase ist? Dann schalten wir ja mal um. Um wieder rauszukommen. Ja, so geht es weiter. Video. Nur mal zu kurz festhalten. Hey,
So, you actually get that computer working again?
hab ich schon. Hab ja Erfahrung gefunden von Barett.
Let me see that. Funny. Even knowing he's alive, I still never want to see him again. Hella, on the other hand, okay. Let me send you the location data embedded in the transmission. Find them, okay?
Mhm. Ja, jetzt muss ich die Wasser mit.
What? Really? Not really cut out for whatever it is people like you and Barrett do, but it might not be a bad time to think about a career change after all this. If you have room in your crew for an outpost supervisor, maybe we can talk.
Ja, genau.
Be a while before Argos comes to pick me up. I'll be here if you need me. And hey, if you ever need a little extra help, I've been thinking about a career change lately. Maybe it's time to put Argos behind me.
Und hier, jetzt Crewmitglied. Ja, der kommt noch mit.
Seems like you've been keeping busy, Dusty. If you find yourself in need of a capable traveling companion, we should talk. My contract up with Argos, and I could use a change of scenery.
Okay, komm noch mit.
Works for me. I'm not fussy about assignments. I'll go where I need it.
Kannst du mal. Besser. Oh, ich habe jetzt aber drauf. Okay.
Right. I'll get to work. Let's catch up later.
Nimm wieder mal mit. So, nach Barett. Der Kurs festlegen. Deswegen kannst du eine Schnellreise. Oh. Wir schmeißen die Würfel weg. Der Party braucht noch 2, schmeißen wir noch weg. Jetzt okay, ich bin fast schon Schnellreise. Dann nochmal zurück. Hyperia. Kurs festlegen. Bereit. Ah.
Hello, Captain.
Hallo. Ups. Scheint nicht sehr freundlich zu sein. Ein bisschen Alu werden wir trotzdem mitnehmen.
Get rid of some of that gear. Yes? Bring me
Was
anything
wird-
useful?
Du hast gerade gesagt, ich trage zu viel mit mir rum. Also.
Okay.
Bitte. Ich trage jetzt zu viel mit mir rum, also bitte. Und ansonsten. Nicht. Geschütztes Schiff. Ortet. Hey! Hello!
Oh, hey, it's you. And here I
pirate coming back to kill me. Lucky me, right?
Mhm. Halt Schwierigkeit Spaß und ich bin nur anders als so der letzte Gedanke irgendwie. Sehen, was passiert ist.
Man, I was so terrified when I got pulled on board that pirate ship. Barett was all, sorry, brother, I'll get us out of this. Trust me.
Vertrauen ist ein Thema, wenn man es trauen sollte. Das ist ein Plan.
Not what you and I would call a plan, necessarily.
Ist ein basically ein Absturz.
Oh, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
He tells me we need to start pretending to fight each other. Trick the pirates into thinking they need to come in before one of us gets killed. I just remember him shouting, "This kid is a killer. How am I supposed to defend myself against these pearly whites? He's gonna bite my face off." I mean, I didn't think it would work, but they came in. All of a sudden, we were wrestling with two of them. Barett reached for one of their guns.
Ich meine, Fortnite, ja, schießen da? Also wirklich Fortnite?
Bingo. Blasted the pilot right in the back. Through to the flight console. And dropped orbit like a rock off a high rise.
Mhm.
I blacked out. And when I came to, there he was, smiling like it was just another day on the job. You missed the fun part, Heller. I mean, I go through all the trouble of saving your butt, and you weren't even awake.
Ich kenne ein Spiel von ihm aus Kicker-Melodie.
Finger gun thing.
Aber es ist nicht hier für den Kopf, oder? Für Zürich und ein Kratzer bestanden.
Well, no, I don't think so. I caught him holding his ribs a few times. Favored his left leg a bit, you know?
Aber es ist nicht hier, ne?
Oh, yeah. Probably should have talked about that first. Did I mention I'm on a lot of painkillers? So, I was real excited when a ship showed up. Then, less excited when I realized it was a Crimson Fleet ship. And then, really less excited when Barett said, "It's okay, I got this." He mumbled something to him, and then they were all gone.
Ich denke schon wieder ein bisschen zu witzig, ne? Sammeln Wine.
I was drifting in and out. But, I think I heard the word ransom.
Ich spiele halt
I
schon
was
wieder.
drifting in and out. But, yeah, I think so. Got a signal from the ship before they grav jumped. Guessing it was Barett. Haven't really been in a good space to have a listen. Here you go. Hey, I should come with you, right? I don't think anyone else is coming.
Würde ich auf die Füße machen, mache ich euch später. Und zu bin ich auf die Füße.
Just, don't ask me to operate any heavy machinery for a while.
Ich hole euch später
Give
ab.
me a minute. I think the worst of it is, yeah, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Ready to wisecrack with the best of them. Let me know when you want to head out.
Ja, aber wir machen eine Arbeit. Mit Mitglied. Hey, kannst du mir das nochmal zeigen? Hey,
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
ja, übernimm dich mit, alles gut. So. Ja, komm mit.
Whew. Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that. For a second there, I thought you were gonna leave me behind. What's on the agenda today?
Überall. Ja, 3 Leute auf dem Schiff waren. Okay. Dann bleibt der Roboter jetzt hier stehen. Ja,
You
bestimmt
got
dazu
it. Catch you on the flip side, boss. Thanks for letting me tag along.
Dann kann ich mir jetzt den Notmotor handeln. Bist du oder so? Hey,
Hey, how are you?
was soll ich fahren?
Ask away.
Ja, mein Leben ab sitzen lag.
Working on my biography, huh?
Wo ist eigentlich her?
You heard of New Homestead in the Sol System? Nah, most people haven't. It's out in the sticks, on one of Saturn's moons. That's
Okay.
where I grew up. Not exactly the most exciting place to be a kid. It's got a lot of ice, a lot of wind, and not much of anything else. I wasn't exactly
Cool.
torn up about leaving to work for Argos. My family weren't still working the wind farms there. I don't think I'd ever go back.
Stehen jetzt so, was du siehst?
Yeah, I never saw myself living in New Homestead forever. To tell you the truth, I hope my family splits too. My mom's always talked about retiring to Jemison. Of course, that'd be a whole lot easier if she didn't have so many kids to look after. New Atlantis isn't exactly cheap. Hopefully she'll be able to move someday, though. Yeah, I worry about her. Wind farming's a pretty dangerous job. Maybe someday, when my brothers are older.
Ja, das
Lynn convinced me. She and some Argos miners stopped by my hometown on Titan to refuel, and I happened to be on shift at the spaceport that day. I noticed some rare minerals in her cargo hold and started chatting with her about them. She was impressed by how much I knew about geology and offered me the gig. It wasn't a hard sell. Lynn seemed like a decent boss, and the salary was great. Besides, my rock collection had gotten as big as it was gonna get on Titan.
Wenn du den was
Yeah,
machen?
we are. She's been my boss for a long time. I think of her as a friend. Don't tell her I said this, but she's not as much of a hard ass as she'd like you to think.
Okay.
And despite what she says, I know she has a soft spot for me.
Kommt's Gesteine?
Hell yeah, I do. I've been working on it for years. I used to collect mineral samples from meteorites that hit Titan, or buy them off pilots at the spaceport. Lynn even contributed to it. She offered me a good-sized chunk of tantalum for my collection, as a signing bonus.
Jemand, was noch setzen, was ist jetzt gepackt hast, ne?
No way. Whatever you found down there had some seriously weird energy coming off of it. Honestly, I hope I never see something like that again in my life.
Werden wir aber. Das war abgearbeitet.
Give or take a couple months. It's been a great job. Pays decent, and my rock collection's never looked better.
Wo ist denn jetzt so sehr
I
weggegangen?
don't. Really. After what happened on Vectera, I seriously needed a break from Argos. And you're not shy about cracking rocks either, so I still get my fix.
Siehst du mir noch was mit der Familie?
Well, my dad's not in the picture, but I have the best mom in the settled systems. More brothers than you can shake a stick at, too. Raising us gave Mom a real run for her money. It's a miracle she didn't leave us to freeze at one of the ice mines on Titan. We got in all kinds of trouble as kids.
Das klingt bestimmt ja nicht so. Wie viel geht das?
I've got 6. Evan, Tim, Ethan, Shane, Lucas, and Finn. Or, boys, get the hell down here, as our mom likes to call us. Now, I'm the oldest by a couple years. Finn's the youngest, he's only 10, and the rest of them are moody teenagers.
Gut. Schauen wir mal, was er ist.
Didn't tell you. He split to join a spacer group when I was young, and I haven't heard from him since. Broke my poor mom's heart.
Okay. So, was du jetzt mit
Nope, and I don't plan on it. He made it pretty clear that he didn't want to know me, so I don't want to know him either.
Wer hat deine Familie das
Mom
aufgenommen?
took it the hardest. She and my dad were together a long time. I don't think she saw it coming. I sure didn't. And most of my brothers were too young to get what was happening, but they could tell how upset our mom was. That was hard on everyone.
Ja.
But hey, we got through it okay in the end. My mom and I leaned on each other and managed to keep things running while we got back on our feet.
Hey, warst du jetzt am Vater
I
geflogen?
was 12. He left while I was out collecting rocks with a couple of my brothers. Didn't say goodbye or anything. Real class act, huh?
Mhm. Sehr schwer gewesen, ja.
Honestly, it wasn't as tough as you'd think. When he left, I told myself to focus on the family I still had instead of wasting time on the guy who left us. And that helped me keep my head on straight about the whole thing.
Mhm. Vem är som är den borta?
She's a new homesteader, born and raised. Her family's been working the wind farm since the first generation of settlers made it to Titan. She's a great mom. Never lets anyone put her kids down. Oh, you should have seen how mad she got when she found out people at school were making fun of my rock collection. She was so determined to get me to stick with it that she read every geology book I had so she could ask me about my collection. That meant a hell of a lot to me.
Så det ser ut som att jag är engagerad.
Say that again. My brothers and I are always up to something. It's a good thing I grew up in a town where our definition of getting into trouble was screwing around with old mining equipment. We would have raised all sorts of hell in a big city like New Atlantis.
Det var annars
Knock
fan.
yourself out, boss.
Det är som jag bara där chans, eller vad säger?
Already taken care of, boss. I donated it to one of the tour companies in New Homestead. Geological formations are one of Titan's big tourist attractions. It hurt my heart a little to give it up, but the woman I donated them to promised they'd give me credit for collecting all the samples, assuming she ever puts them on display. And whether she does or not, I'm glad to know all my hard work won't be gathering dust in a storage unit somewhere. Righto, boss.
Thanks for taking the time to talk. I wanted to ask you about the artifact you found on Vectera.
Yeah?
When you pulled it from the rock, held it in your hands for the first time, how did you feel? No, I don't think you understand. I know about the visions, the light, and the music. How did you feel inside? What were your thoughts?
Trzeba pokazać myślę, że polegi,
We're going to unlock the secrets of these artifacts. We're going to need more than simple empirical data. We'll need to dig deeper. It would be helpful if you'd just tell me how holding the artifact made you feel. That's an interesting reaction. But I suppose it shouldn't surprise me. When dealing with the artifacts, common sense tends to go right out the window.
Honestly,
I wasn't sure how you'd react. Some people would consider what you went through a deeply personal experience. Good. We need all the help we can get. Different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. Quite the mystery. Well, judging from the fact that both you and Barett claim to have heard music, I've made the leap that the artifact was reaching out. Music composition might not consist of words and sentences, but I'll be damned if that isn't an attempt at language.
Okay.
That's an excellent question. You'd think after years of gathering data about the artifacts, I'd have the perfect answer to that. But I haven't the faintest idea.
Was ist wieder, hast du gesammelt?
All I have to show for my efforts are eyewitness accounts, scores of inconclusive metallurgical test results, and wild theories.
Vielleicht an der Rekonstruktion arbeitest.
No, not at all. There's so much going on there, I can't afford to divert all of our resources, but I have classified the artifacts as a priority project.
Fehlt meine Angst. It's ungefähr 10.
Frustrating? No. Bewildering? Yes. It would be, oh, well, an explorer's dream to solve a mystery like this. I knew I picked the right person for the job. Look, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to talk, and for keeping an open mind. And I also wanted to say, well, I'm pleased we're on this journey together. It's the best decision I've made in quite a long time.
drill vessel.
Ja, da.
Protocol Indigo means no deviations, no distractions, no dalliances, in short, no fun. Unless, as strictly defined by Sarah, said deviations, distractions, and dalliances are completely necessary in getting this fine vessel, the Discovery-class Starship Frontier, back home in one piece. I guess I'm still technically borrowing it from Constellation, even if I have no intention of actually giving it back.
Okay.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Was das sonst für mich, Anna?
Do I ever? Here.
Joa, danke
Shoot
dir.
the breeze? Okay by me?
Da haben wir aber schon geklaut, das können wir
Some
nicht.
other time then.
Captain, I have been idling and awaiting my next order for some time now.
Ja, bleib doch mal ganz unruhig.
Can I help? Fine by me.
Ja.
Bye for now.
So, kann ich mir jetzt weiter vorstellen?
Hey, need something?
Nö. Würde der Roboter bitte mal aus der Tür gehen? Jetzt mache ich gleich durch, weil er sich hier mit mir in die Tür stellt. Wenn er nicht weitergeht. Ey,
I have been idle here for a long time. I farewell.
gut. Willst du bitte aus der Tür gehen? Dankeschön. Ich nicht bitte. Hey,
You look well.
Dirks Persönlichkeit.
We have work to do.
Warum wirst du meiner
I
werden?
never considered anything else. My parents were miners too. I've been learning the trade since I was old enough to dig. The longest I've spent above ground was the year and a half I served in the UC military during the Colony War. That was more than enough for me. I prefer to keep my boots full of dust and my pockets full of credits. Less trouble that way.
Mhm. In den Abseits vom Haus.
Let's hear it.
Hast du einen Koloniekrieg gedient?
I did. I know I don't seem like the military type. Like most people, I was less practical when I was young.
Dann steht nun mal in meiner Ansicht an, dass wir jetzt aber schon angepasst, schon jetzt überlegt.
I was only in the military for a year and a half. I spent the rest of the war underground, mining materials for the UC to turn into ships and bullets.
Da bist du Militär
I
gegangen?
was talked into it. Someone I loved felt called to serve, and he asked me to join him. Only one of us walked away from the war, though.
Wo war der
I was a
Bahnhof?
drill sergeant. You don't seem surprised.
Nö,
I have a firm hand and a knack for getting the best
du
of
willst wie so ein Chef.
The UC saw that and put me in charge of training new recruits for combat.
Steht nun mal bei meiner.
I lost someone dear to me in the war. I'm as strict as I need to be to make sure my workers' families don't have to go through that too. Mining can be as dangerous as combat, you know. There's a good reason why I've held on to old habits.
Und wie du Krieg verloren hast?
It was my husband, the love of my life. He was killed just a month before the armistice.
Wie ist der gestorben? Habt ihr zwei zusammen gelebt?
We didn't. I was stationed at a recruiting center on Jemison, and he served on the front lines. He was a crewman aboard one of the UC's largest ships. He used to tease me about how much more exciting his service was than mine. He always hated being stuck in cities for too long.
Mein Barett. Ich war nicht viel gestorben.
It was never quite the same after he died.
Völlig unmöglich. Höchstens noch, ob sie uns mehr erzählt.
His name was Manuel. He was a miner, like me. We were stationed at the same outpost for a few years, and we had the same supervisor. He was a better man than most. Honest, kind-hearted, and even-tempered. I've never felt more at peace than I did when I was with him. Losing him was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Damn colony war.
Was in dieser Anschlussschmerzen dann? Hat Kinder zusammen?
Do I seem like the motherly type, Dusty? No. We never had children of our own. Manuel has a daughter named Miranda, but she was already a teenager when we got married. She lives in New Homestead with her family. We aren't very close, but I try to see her every time I pass through the Sol system.
Laat ik het zo.
Then we were married for most of it. I knew he was right for me after our first conversation. And I'm not the type to waste time. I can still remember the look on his face when I asked him to marry me.
Ik was er niet aan het met
Heartbreaking doesn't even begin to describe it. Manuel was absolutely everything to me. Losing him shook me to my core. I've never been the same. Manuel was my greatest joy. When he died, he took most of my happiness with him. I couldn't handle the heartbreak, so I threw myself into work. I barely looked up from a cutter for years after that. I figured if I kept my head down and my workers safe, that eventually I'd get over the loss. But it's like I said, time doesn't heal everything. I believe I was only ever meant to love one person. I still hate waking up without him.
Jobson should be done big comments and perspectives and inputs.
I was with the other officers at my base when a report came through about one of our ships being destroyed. I recognized its name from Manuel's messages. It took a few days before the casualty reports started coming through. By the time one of the officers came to console me, I already knew he was gone. Space battles don't tend to leave many survivors. I don't think so either. I don't know if distracting myself instead of finding a way to move on is the right choice. That's the trouble with aging. The more of it you do, the more foolish your younger self looks. If it is time to move on, then leaving Argos was a good first step. I don't have as much to worry about out here. Make it quick.
Wir haben jetzt ausführlich über deinen Mann geredet, aber kurz, weißt du, ob das was Fakt ist, nur über Arbeit war, was ich habe?
No, I don't. I only ask as many questions as I need to get my job done. I had no idea it was dangerous.
Ich habe natürlich immer entspannt darauf, ich schon auf der Erde gelassen, mal sehen, jetzt hast du eine neue geschickt. So habe ich das schon gesehen.
No. Whatever that thing was, it's the only one I've ever seen. I'm glad it's not my problem anymore.
Some make it.
I've seen skeletons the size of starships, buried in sheetrock, and crystals that release a toxic gas potent enough to kill you through your suit. Once I was part of a job that unearthed an entirely new species of cave-dwelling insects. You never know what you'll find when you break ground. Rocks are good at keeping secrets.
Also ich hätte was zu den neuen geschickt.
Grudges, Dusty. I sent you to do the job I was paying you for. Running into strange things underground is an occupational hazard for miners.
Jetzt war auch nur ein Joke gemeint.
Very well.
Da ist sie.
Giving the fleet a lot of trouble, Barett. Hey, since when is surviving being attacked causing trouble? Isn't that just fighting back? Hey, pilot, could you move your arm a little bit to the left? Pick out the console.
Don't move! He's trying to figure out our destination. Probably transmitting this conversation right now while we're still in orbit.
Well, yeah, thought I was making that pretty obvious. Okay, put the gun down. I'm done. See? My retinas are pointing away from the console and towards this lovely view of space we have out the window.
Time up. Once we get back to the base, the fun starts.
Als wir landen hier. Und da wird machen. So, verlassen. Müssen wir wieder aufhören damit? Piss dich. Genauso. Piss dich. Bist du? Ja. Bist du geschützt. Okay, das ist schon durchschalten. Oh no. Jetzt kommt mal ein weglauen. Ja, jetzt. Wenn die scheiß Geschütze abballern, ja, komm. Ja. Oh Mann, Alter, wirklich. Ist ja jetzt schon wieder unnötig nervig. Weil ich hier schon wieder bedrängelt werde. Schon wieder sehr. Piss dich. Piss dich. Alter. Wie bist du's? Oh, Barett. Ich hab so einen fucking Feuerlader dabei. Dann heißt die Quest dann deaktiviert hier ist, wenn die Luft ist. Ja, schön. Vielleicht wenn ich hier mal nicht so gucken muss. Ach, du bist es. Schon wieder.
You have anything valuable?
Ja, was Money. Ja, und. Barett. Ist da vorne. Ja, aber vorhin viel ausgepasst. Hier ist er.
Oh, yeah. There's no certainty to the universe at all. Once you really start getting out there, the laws of physics kind of turn into suggestions. Holy shit. You actually found me.
Hi.
I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened with Barett. But, well, it isn't.
Well, this is turning into a regular Constellation party, isn't it? I should have brought drinks.
Ja, klar. Ja, so ist es, frag nicht warum. Verstehst du bitte die
Mansour
Raten?
the Grim here and I actually have a lot in common.
Both escape artists. Being captured by Sistep myself plenty of times.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Relativity. We're all just creatures of the universe trying to get away from what's after us.
Geh nach Hause.
You know, it's actually been kind of nice. Mansour the Grim here is a great host.
No sense letting people's last moments be unpleasant.
See, that's what I like about you, Mansour. A real Renaissance man.
I have enjoyed our time together, Barett, but I can't just let you go with nothing to show for Is Constellation willing to pay a ransom in exchange for this man's freedom?
We do have some insurance set aside for this exact problem.
Does that mean you'll be paying me, Miss?
We don't need to be introduced. Here's your money. And we would appreciate it if you could spread the word in the Crimson Fleet that Barett shouldn't be harassed. It's not working out for any of us.
That's a fair point. But I can't control a man's reputation.
Do what you can. A suggestion to the right ears can work wonders.
Very well. Goodbye to you all. I have enjoyed this little exchange.
See you around, Matsur. I mean, well, you know, hopefully not.
So, Barett, wir gehen dann zu Loge zurück, würde ich sagen. Das heißt, raus hier, raus hier. Das wird zum Beispiel die ganze Zeit, warum immer den Ziel genommen hat. Weil doof ist. Einfach zu Tobi. Jameson. So, eine Loge. Landen.
Perhaps we could spend a bit of time relaxing rather than planning.
Sorry for the wait, everyone. Held up on Vectera.
Barett, you were worried sick.
Well, some of us were.
I see what you did there, Walter. And I know you've been secretly crying into your piles of money just waiting for my return.
Actually, Walter has been complaining about you more than usual, which is always a sign when he's worried. Don't stop.
Wait, is that? And to think the first artifact was taking up dust on the library shelf. Now, look at them all. You feel it a bit, can't you? Ever since I found the second one, had the visions. Being around them is just comforting.
I'm
still not 100%, plus I feel guilty dragging you into all of this. Why don't I stick around? Help you get adjusted to the weird corners of the universe. It doesn't really matter to me. We'll never get too attached to ships. After the 5th or 6th time one blows up and you get marooned, the romance fades. Plus, the Frontier is a Constellation ship. And you're one of us now. So it's just as much yours as mine at this point. Marvelous.